Hi team, my name is DeAnna Baker, and I'm excited to share the article that I found this week for the CIBE presentation specific to international business. The article that I found this week is from CNBC and was published on June 23rd of this year. You can read the title here, but basically this article talks about the EV growth or electric vehicle growth and specifically the dynamics between China and the US. Before diving into the article, I thought it'd be helpful to provide a little bit of history on electrical vehicles. They've been around a lot longer than I personally realized, with the first one being manufactured in about the 1820s. They didn't gain popularity at that time due to the rise of gasoline or petroleum-based vehicles, but they were reintroduced into the market when the impacts of petroleum on the environment were realized. They started regaining popularity around 2008, 2010, and they've continued to increase since then with record sales in recent years. On this slide, I've provided a few charts that show some data surrounding the electrical vehicle market. The first chart on the left there focuses on how many electrical vehicles are owned by country. So this is the number of registered EVs in a country. As you can see by the data provided here from 2022, China is far in the lead with the number of electric cars that are in use in that country. The second chart focuses on the manufacturers of the electric cars. So as you can see, there are two main ones. The first one, BYD, is a China-based company, and the second one is a US-based company, Tesla, which I think most of us are familiar with. Now that we've looked at a brief history of EVs, let's talk about the article. The article I found focused on a small city in China called Luyao, located in the southeastern part of the country. This city has self-branded themselves as the EV capital. Last year, they produced over 500,000 EVs, and they currently have the capacity and plans to triple that output. There are a few reasons this region has seen success in the EV market. They're able to be highly cost competitive due to the low labor costs in the area. They also experience low logistic costs due to their physical location. This area is known for lots of different companies in the automaker industry, so there is a wide talent pool for them to attract personnel. And then there's supply chain availability of the parts and materials that they need. Further, the Chinese government has invested about $230 billion over the last decade in the EV industry. So what does this actually mean in regards to challenges for international businesses? For the US, the growth of the EV market in China presents a few challenges. The concern is that the production of EVs could overtake the US companies that also are producing EVs. Due to this concern, there have been tariffs increased on EVs coming from China. So to get an EV from China, there's 100% tariff on it. When it comes to EV batteries, which there is a large market for, there's a 25% tariff on this. Further, the US isn't the only one that is seeing these concerns. Europe has also announced an increase to their tariffs of EV coming from China to about 38%. So what do these tariffs mean? This means that there's additional charges on goods coming into a country. It makes imported items more expensive for the consumers, therefore encouraging domestic purchases instead. And it's also meant to protect the local industry from foreign competition coming in and taking over. While the current EV production in China is focused domestically at this time, if you remember from the chart before, a large number of consumers in China have EVs. They are starting to look at how they can globalize and develop a strategy for getting into other companies and increasing their presence there. China also believes that these tariffs violate the free market principles, basically stating that this isn't hurting China, it is hurting the US consumers not being able to get more affordable electric vehicles. So to summarize everything that I've shared with you today, I want to highlight the challenges that this makes for international businesses. For the US and other countries, they need to be aware of the competition that is out there in China and how it could impact their business today. Further, US manufacturers need to be aware of the tariffs on the vehicles as well as the batteries in case they are using them in their current production. And then lastly, of course, there's a challenge for China to break into the US market knowing that these tariffs exist out there. Thank you all. Appreciate it.